A very good afternoon to you. This is your lunchtime news bulletin coming to you live here on Mtv Sports with news. First, I'm Shahin Party. Let's start off with a look at your headlines this afternoon. Government analyst conducts investigations into the fire that erupted in a Southern building down Vauxhall Street. 2 Navy officers killed in a motor accident in Karuwalagasweva. The Indian state of Andhra Pradesh split into two. Now for those stories in detail. The police say that the government analysts and other officials have been called in to carry out investigations into the fire that broke out early this morning at the Southern building down Vauxhall Street in Colombo. Police media spokesperson SP Buddhigasiriwardana said that several officials, including the government analysts, electrical engineers and officers of the Criminal Investigations Department, are to carry out investigations. The fire department says that the fire which broke out on the 7th floor of the Sathosa building was completely contained. We were informed at around 3:20 am that a fire had erupted in the Sathosa headquarters. The fire had erupted on the 7th and 8th floor of the building. There were no casualties. The damaged property has not been estimated, while the cause of the fire is yet to be ascertained. A person who was trapped inside the Sathosa building at the time of the fire was rescued. I was in the 8th floor when the fire broke out. I was studying for an exam. Somebody in the office called me and told me about the fire. Then I went to take a look and noticed that the fire had erupted on the 7th floor. Firefighters rescued me once the smoke reduced. The Navy has arrested 65 Indian fishermen who violated the Sri Lankan maritime boundary from the north of Point Pedro and the northeast of Mullaitivu. Navy spokesperson Commander Kosala Varnakulasuriya said that the 9 trawlers the fishermen arrived in have also been seized. The Ministry of Fisheries notes that Indian fishermen poaching in Sri Lankan waters has decreased by nearly 80%. Subject Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne attributes its decrease to the vigilant action and arrests made by the Navy. We're also making headlines this afternoon. 2 Navy officers have been killed in an accident in the Karuwalagasweva area in Puttlam this morning. The police said that the accident took place when a lorry flying from Colombo to Jaffna collided with a car travelling from Anuradhapura to Colombo. The Navy officers who met with the accident had been returning to Colombo after attending a passing out ceremony at the Anuradhapura Navy camp. The police noted that the accident took place due to the driver of the lorry falling asleep. The deceased have been identified as 32-year-old Lieutenant Commander Charit Sanindhu Saputantri, a resident of Madivala, and 44-year-old Commander J.D. Janaka Priyantha, a resident of Horana. The remains of the 2 victims are currently lying at the Puttlam Base Hospital, while the driver of the car who suffered injuries in the accident is also receiving treatment at the hospital. News First U reporter Janaka Sampath filed this report on an accident which occurred on the Matugama Kaluthura road. At around 5:30 this morning, a lorry travelling from Polmojay to Matugama veered off the Matugama Kaluthura road and toppled. The driver and another individual in the lorry were unharmed in the accident. News First U reporter Janaka Sampath, Matugama City. Meanwhile, an individual died when a motorcycle collided with a paddy harvesting machine in Nachedua. The accident occurred on the Anuradhapura Kandy Main Road this morning. The individual who suffered serious injuries in the accident succumbed to his injuries upon admission to the Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital. According to our correspondent, the driver of the tractor that was towing the harvesting machine was taken into custody. The The police have recorded a statement from Malaka Silva, the son of Minister Mervyn Silva, who was assaulted on Monday. Police media spokesperson SP Buddhiga Sriwardana said the Colombo Crimes Division is conducting further investigations into the incident. The police media spokesperson also said that footage captured on CCTV cameras at the department store in Colombo, where the alleged assault occurred, will be used in the investigations. The police have received information that those who carried out the attack had arrived at the scene in a three-wheeler and a Defender. Still in local news, the Horana Divisional Development Committee meeting was held at the Horana Divisional Secretariat yesterday. UPFA parliamentarian Vidura Vikramanayaka, who participated in the meeting, spoke about the interference of politicians in the school educational system.
The President says the best things are for the children. However, how many children are deprived of the opportunity to be admitted to grade 1? There are instances when individuals who put their children into school under the guise of various circulars. Let us take a stern decision and act on it. We should protect our schools, and in order to do this, we need to ensure that politicians don't force children into schools. Politicians don't interfere in the appointment of principals and in the transfer of teachers. No matter what policies are introduced, these individuals will be unable to carry out their duties as long as politicians keep interfering. This is what has happened in Horana today.
The fast commenced by Venerable Teri Pahas Siridam Matero seeking a solution to the water crisis in Ratapaswala has concluded.
Venerable Teri Pahas Siridam Matero, who is the chief incumbent of the Galloluwa Sambuddhatta Jayanti Vihara in Valley commenced the fast on Saturday at 12 noon. The Thero called off the fast at 11 p.m. yesterday.
අපේ උපවාස මණ්ඩපයට බත්තරමුල්ලේ සීලරතන හාමුදුරුව වැඩම කරන්නට යෙදුණා.
Venerable Batramulle Sila Ratana Thero arrived at the location where we were carrying out our fast. He contacted the President from this location and gave us the opportunity to speak with him. The President noted that he would be able to provide solutions to our issues. News First was with us from the beginning. We need to thank them for their involvement.
විශේෂයෙන්ම කෘතඥතාපූර්වක ස්තුතිය පුද කරන්න ඕනේ.
Meanwhile, a tsunami drill was conducted yesterday covering 14 districts. Assistant Director of the Disaster Management Center Pradeep Kodipli stated that the main aim of the drill was to test tsunami early warning systems.
Those residing down Kalido Road in Kaluthura North took part in the tsunami drill. Officials attached to the Kaluthura District Disaster Management Center also took part in the tsunami drill.
We conducted the drill to create awareness among the public about tsunamis. If we forget how to act in times of disaster, then the damage that can be caused could be far worse. We conduct drills twice or thrice to create public awareness.
Yet another tsunami drill was held in the Madakatia village in Tangol under the supervision of the Hambantota District Disaster Management Center. The tsunami drill was held in the Dikwella town in Mathura at around 3 p.m. yesterday. Officials of the Mathura District Disaster Management Center as well as members of the Yatiana Army Camp participated in the drill.
Welampara is a district that is constantly threatened by the wild elephant menace. Here's another report of a wild elephant attack from the district, this time from Alutwalatapitia. This is a trail of destruction left behind by wild elephants that strayed into the Alutwalatapitia area in Ampara last night. Area residents say the wild elephants that entered the area on the night of the 29th had also caused severe damage to cultivations. 3 lives have already been lost in the Alutwalatapitia village due to the wild elephant menace. Meanwhile, our correspondent in the Karuwalagaswava area in Siambalawa, Rowan Pereira, was able to capture footage of a rarely seen incident. The Karuwalagaswava Anamadu Road had to be temporarily closed due to these elephants. According to our correspondent, commuters were forced to travel an additional distance of 40 kilometers as a result. The road was opened once again after wildlife officials arrived at the location and chased the wild elephants into the Thabova reserve.